Return to Earth. So, the save data actually didn't work. So, we're gonna start fresh. This time with all the knowledge of... We got all the way to having a dinosaur. So, let's get right to it then. Let's pick... That looks like a character. You. We will relearn the buttons. Give some volume here. This music will be playing a lot. Yeah, how about that? Alright. Alright. So, first things first. Volcano. Right there. Make some land. Next, sliders. Many sliders. So, volcanoes, sure. Contents will drift down. Heat up. Formation up. Meteor up. It costs some amount of points. 100 points just to look at it. An immediate earthquake. Oh, these things happen. Apparently I put this thing right on the fault line. Right into the atmosphere. Solar impact. You can turn off the sun. Ooh, poutine. Cloud cover... Rainfall a little down. Rainfall's fine. All of this is good. We leave this be. And the biosphere. Super supreme tolerance. Increase the reproduction. Reduce mutation, increase advancement. I want lots of animals that are going to evolve. One of these is sidestepping, like different kinds of crab. One of these is like the next kind of animal. I took notes last time. Hold on, let's pull up those notes. And where did you go? There. Bop, 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 bop. Advance seemed to be what we're looking for here. Are you making a poutine? And we don't need to touch the civilization. We have no civilization yet. Are you making the poutine or are you having it delivered? Just fries and gravy, right? We also want to timer fast. The atmosphere is going to be a little dusty. Those are pretty right. Trichordates. Born. It sounds so healthy. Trichordates? Insects? Oh boy. Amphibians! Already. Get right to it. Now you see the amphibian to work its way over here. You don't have any trees yet. Ground beef, onions, and bacon with spicy sauce. Extra cheese. There's a swamp. Sounds hell. I love it. Sounds like you should be you should be American. Trees are happening. I reduced the continental drift to stop animals from hopefully getting swept up. Come on, get over here. You can do it. You're an amphibian, right? Yeah. But this time, we know more of what we're doing, and we're going to waste less points. There's kind of something similar to that here in New Jersey, at least. They call it disco fries. What is this blob? An amoeba. Like fries and cheese and gravy. Whoa, all the plants are gone. Hey. The way it does continental drift is weird. Here in Waterworld, land of squids. At this point, we're pretty much hands off. There was a button that let me... No? There you go. The R button lets me lock my cursor in place while I scroll. There's an amphibian. There's a piece of land. Where's the rest of my land? This disco fry is about what kind of cheese they use. Cheese curd just doesn't sound appealing. Alright, Gaia, what do you feel about my changes? It's increasing. Well, if you say so. Problem is, if I throw down a biome machine, it'll end up underwater. Young cheddar. Actually delicious. That's what we like to hear. Right, let's grab you and up above ground where you go. This will be Everest. Whoa. Spend a few hundred points on this. Well, as we all know, calorie is a unit of taste. How's the audio there, Misty? Can you hear the game at all? Texture is important to a lot of people. Well, all those people can't eat bananas. Alright, swamp is back. This is the sound. This is one of the game soundtracks I put on when I'm doing paperwork. Hey, is it bug? The insect just hanging out in the water. I land. It's so weird about how fast the land moves. I guess we are moving 250,000 years at a time. You would think that the trees would grow with it. Alright, swamp is back. Fish on the swamp. We can take this time. We're going to learn. Let's see, what's a topic we want to learn about today? Hey, amphibian, hanging out in the jungle. Sprout legs. Do it. Do it, you. Oh, I loved it. Look at this crab sprite. This crab sprite's really good. So many animals. Can you hear the game all right? So right now our goal is to get an animal, get any animal civilized. Have it become aware. Raise it to sentience. And we were given a water world to do this with, and some amount of points to be a god. Set off one volcanic eruption to make some land. Raise the land a little bit over here manually. Hold the biosphere to have animals reproduce very quickly and attempt to advance. The amphibian should become a reptile. Right? It has a weapon. This crab has a weapon too. Has a scissor. And the amphibian's gone. Well. Hoping an amphibian gets onto land and becomes a reptile. We need land animals. You can't have civilization in the water. There's no fire in the water. So says Gaia. Our land creature's gonna have a problem living. Let's check the sliders. Check the graphs. Tell me about the atmosphere. It's pretty dusty. That'll clear out on its own as long as no other dust things happen. 0.9% is fine. The atmosphere should be mostly nitrogen. CO2 will be eaten and turned into oxygen by the trees here. So we just need trees to eat the carbon. Our land is entirely jungle. I reckon we just have probably a lot of rainfall in mostly ocean world here. Do I do something about that, or do I let it just keep happening? be fair, chameleons will grip a sworded shield if you hand it to them. Doesn't mean they're sentient. That's a good starfish, too. There's some good sprites in this. We have plenty of amphibians around. Well, we had some amphibians. There's an insect still hanging out. Swimming in the water. The final cockroach. So much fish. Oh, some land over here. I didn't make that. That's good to see. These dark blue spots. No idea. So here's our main landmass. And don't forget to check in with the planet itself. No problem. Give me a thumbs up there, buddy. The crabs are crawling, the octopi are crawling into the swamp. Tricordite. It lives. Tell me about life. Mostly fish. But seems to be fine ratios. What should be happening. Right, now that I've gotten 100 more points, let's make another landmass. Expand on this one. Trees. Regular trees. A powerful starfish. It's a nice Wednesday game after a day of work. I got out of work about an hour early today. We were able to start this an hour early. My son, he's learned to make an angry face. It makes him laugh, but he has learned how to make an angry face. I captured a good moment. What's up? Reptile. Alright. 20 minutes in, we have a reptile. Where is that reptile? Is it under the tidal wave? It just got washed away. Is it on landmass number 2? No. Did it evolve in the ocean? Not the best move. Is it on landmass 3? Put one over here, right? Not much left of this one. The planet is trying to reclaim the land. Amphibian that decided to evolve when he wasn't on land. Smooth move. Oh, maybe he'll find his way to land. And reproduce. There. Reptile. There he goes. Tiniest reptile. Fish, get out of the jungle. The reptile needs room to gallop. The time scale is insane. Every few seconds, 250,000 years. That's a really old reptile. This is the game. We wait. No need to get involved unless we have to. There is a expanding group of Sahajin over here with weaponry. Stay safe, Reptile. Reptile, no! Reptile, swim! Swim! Remember your past! Rest in peace, Reptile. Reptile did not reproduce. It was alive for millions of years. Well, hopefully the next amphibian will do that. Fine wind down. Someone designed this. Someone thought this would be fun. Alright, you set up your planet. Now wait. Wait millions of years for anything to happen. I could increase the temperature. I could try to boil the oceans a bit. If I ask it to show me... Because this is the tectonic plates here. Oops. Come on. Show me altitude. Oh, this is our normal one. Show me water temperature. Hot as hell in the equator, less so that makes sense. Air temperature. Don't know why I thought that would be different. Alright, the life indicator is not helpful. Air currents. Some places are just devoid of air current. Tidal waves everywhere. Maybe this is all jungle because it's on the equator. We'll make a point to put some land down by the poles. Let's bring this down to 18. It does suffer from not telling you how much is too much, or... I get the exact percentages of the air composition. Unless... Report? Biomass. High life fish. History? C. Alright, this is a helpful map to have. CO2 is staying stable. Air pressure. Oxygen. CH4. It's methane, right? CH4 is methane. No issue with methane. I don't know what div is. What fuel? What was that spike in nuclear? One of these animals have learned to use the bomb. I guess. So last stream we read the entire in-game encyclopedia. Misspellings and lies abound. Incomplete data is great to have. Looked online for any kind of help or understanding of some of these beyond what the in-game data gives you, and there isn't any. The only thing you find online is use the cheat. Become a reptile. Do it. Land is happening. That's good. We need land for land creatures. That music's pretty chill too. It's just kind of goes. Come on. Come on, reptile. The first land creature. We need you. We need you back. Tornado. Alright, how do we like the atmosphere? Dust is fine. Dust is down. Water vapor is good for making more rain. Air pressure's a little low. I imagine we could fix that with, I think it said a nitrogen generator. I think that reptile just died because it got dropped into the ocean because the land moved under it. Eastern landmass. Almost gone. Oh no, there it is. It drifted, right. Now it's western landmass. I lowered the continental drift. Didn't seem to help. Suppose this is the realistic degree to which how slow evolution happens. This game always confounded me as a child. I'd sit here a lot, throwing events at the civilized world, and like the animals. Did not understand it. Alright, got some amphibians in the right spot. That's a good start. Oxygen. Worth a shot. Come on. Sprout legs. Or you become sentient. I don't care. Amphibians can go on land. One moment. That reptile turned into a amoeba. What is that supposed to be? It took 20 minutes to get a reptile. It took 20 minutes more to get a second one. And the game keeps drowning it in the ocean by taking the land out from under it. No one's claiming this is a good game. They tried something here. Did they succeed? We have less oxygen than we did before. And no CO2 in the air. That's an oxygen generator. It should be putting it into the air. Always cute when my son calls me on video call. What is this? I'm curious. It's an this is an amphibian too. All right, cool. Become a reptile. Yeah, we're gonna touch that in case I wrote down it wrong. Maybe we just want these both up. Everything. Give me all the animals, all the different types of animals. Whoa, 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 whoa. A reptile appeared and immediately... There it is. There they are. Don't know if that was coincidence or that I touched the slider and it was happy. Hey Gaia. Gaia, look. Gaia, wake up. Dinosaur. And... Gaia woke up in civilization! Cities are established throughout the world. War and other problems may occur. You must develop an intelligent civilization. Alright, this is the time of civilizations. Fish are civilized! We did it! Fish! Fish are civilized! Fish planet! We did it! The Aquarium problem of... This seemed like an impossible task to bring civilization to this watery planet. Your mission has been completed. Your challenge as colonizer has just begun. We did it! Fish! I don't know. Misty called it. That fish picked up a fork. Ate some poutine. Don't count it. It didn't even tell me that birds appeared. Earth. The scenario began 550 million years ago. Creatures on Earth will evolve into many different species. Your goal is to develop civilization and start an industrial revolution. Alright, what are we working with here? Pangea. Well, I'll do multiple things said that saving the game actually messes things up. Alright, so we have a Pangea. We have only bacteria. We're starting even further back than we did before. Very dusty land. We have, like, no biome happening. Life is... no life. Bacteria does not exist. This is fake. Okay, what are we looking at? The task is to use fire. A high life is bacteria. This is very beginnings of Earth. This Pangea here. Alright, slider time. Console to drift. No. Erosion. No. Stop eroding away the land. Meteors. Nah. We have plenty of land. Boil the ocean a little bit. Tilt it that way, sure. The atmosphere. Solar impact could stay in the middle. That's temperature, that's greenhouse, temperature, rainfall. All this is... I never like to touch this so far. Unless we actually need to fuss with the temperature. That seems to be all it does. Tolerance. Be tolerable. Reproduce. Advance. Mutate. Sure. Alright, we give this time to work. Now we have things to read about here. Tell me about Cambrian. Starfish have been born. Sweet. Cambrian period. The Cambrian period, 541 to 485.4 million years ago, was a transformative, early Paleozoic era defined by the Cambrian explosion, a rapid evolutionary burst that produced most major animal phyla. It featured a warm, largely marine world, dominated by trilobites, mollusks, and early chordates, while the land remained barren of plants. Well, we've already solved that problem. We already have plants. And it's apparently somewhere a starfish. A dramatic increase in biodiversity and complexity occurred over 20 to 30 million years, with many animals developing hard, mineralized skeletons, while marine ecosystems boomed with arthropods, like trilobites and vertebrates. Predation became a major driver of evolution, causing armor, like spiny, thick exoskeletons, to proliferate. Supercontinent Rodinia. Rodinia is different, causing sea levels to rise and creating extensive, shallow, warm marine habitats. This is not supposed to be Pangea, this is supposed to be Rodinia. Alright, well, tell me about Rodinia. Rodinia was a Neoproterozoic supercontinent that assembled roughly 1 billion years ago and broke up about 750 million years ago. It means homeland in Russian. The supercontinent contained most of the Earth's continental crust, likely with Laurentia of North America at its core. It's surrounded by other continents like East Antarctica, Australia, and Siberia. Breakup is believed to have caused extreme global cooling. That's cool. With a little bit of patience. It took like 45 minutes to beat the first scenario. How do you feel about this Rodinian supercontinent, Gaia? No problem. How's the atmosphere looking now? A little better? A lot of methane. Dust is going down, that's good. Swaths of swamp. Some desert. Fine, reptiles can live there. The entire ocean. Now the wiki did tell me that there is a treasure on every map, every scenario. The very first playthrough, we found the one in the first scenario. Keep an eye out for it. Our lovely starfish friend. So, there's no room for any more animals to reproduce, huh? Let's adjust that slider. Reproduction, yes. Bring down mutation a bit. Get some advancement going. We didn't get to see the effects of civilizing our fish either. We will here. We're gonna have cavemen up through the industrial era. This is gonna be a long one. Boreal. Some pine trees. Little Pac-Man world here. Launch the red beam. Getting blasted in the face. What is blue? Blue is not even one of the options on the life indicator. Game. What is blue? Yellow is crab. There's crab everywhere now. They didn't tell me crab was born. They said starfish was born. The whole planet's pretty shallow water. Maybe that's a problem. Can't make big animals without it. Maybe we need... stop boiling the oceans a bit. Make a trench right here. Bring this down to 25. There. Enjoy some deep water. I made you a swimming pool. Alright, dust is going down. A lot of oxygen. To be fair, the composition of the atmosphere is less important, since anything that evolves into it should probably be good having it. The idea of... Crab! Thanks, Gaia. You know, it's the whole idea of evolution. They evolved to the environment around it. Very short-lived to evolve into a world that you can't live in. Where is that crab? Bacteria. Starfish, crab. Just need some of these crabs to crawl. Octopus. Well, we have jungle for you. Or swamp. By coordinates. Welcome back. You decided to evolve up in the Arctic, so, oh, there you went. You had your shot. Oh, there's one over there. Ocean's a little crowded these days. Now we're moving. Insects. Let's see if we can find that bug. Somewhere in the wide ocean's a bug. Our own little mini game of Where's Waldo. Finding a bug in a fish stack. Pretty big holes on this planet. Fish. Previous victors of the last world. Carnifern. Alright. What do carniferns look like? This? That's an amoeba. Nothing up here at all in these large swaths of land. A pitcher plant evolved. Oh, trichordates are taking over, or they're starting. Do it, guys. Become civilized. There's a bug. Found it. 2. Right, bugs exist. Pitcher plant. I don't even know what I'd be looking for. I think it's this. This thing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. See ya. You drowned. Be nice if it, like, gave me an idea of what I should be doing at all. Need less oxygen. Air is very oxygenated. It's not enough life to consume that oxygen, I guess. Trichordates. Let's read about trichordates. I looked up trichordates, and SimEarth came up. Meanwhile, Frog is real. Trichordates are taking over the land. Alright, this is what... The wiki books of SimEarth, I found a thing we did not find last time. You can mold and shape a planet down to every peak and canyon that you choose. Look at these things. Handsome. Beauty of the game lies within the fact that unlike most games, there is no real objective or goal. Thus creativity, reptile, can be prevalent and possibilities are limitless. In SimEarth, your planet has a life of 10 billion years, after which the sun supernovas, turning your entire planet to desert. Unlike the PC version, it is actually possible to continue playing beyond this point. In the Super Nintendo version, apparently you can play without a planet, or when your planet is within the sun. Reptile, welcome back. Time to crank the sliders. Mutate. Placing objects and performing certain actions in the game requires energy, which is represented in Omega units. Actions are carried out through a series of menus, which contain available options to use. Oh, the backup initialize apparently erases the data in the game. Whoops. Dinosaurs! Welcome back, dinosaurs. What are you? Bug. Carniferns have gotten back onto the onto land. Bichordates are all over. Dinosaur in the water. Good luck, dinosaur. Dinosaurs all over. Birds! Life is thriving. Yo, aren't you happy? Aren't you happy with this Gaia? There's life everywhere. Oh, he's so happy. Look at him go. Let's see, other game events. Scenarios. Bird has been born. But there are cheats in this. You can just pick which scenario you want to play with on the main menu. Let's see. There's a special menu. Oh. Sound tests. And if you drop the N-bomb on a nanotech city, something happens. A lot of birds. Qualitative results and discussion. Someone did a presentation on this game. They were playing on the Daisy planet. Curious. Daisy planet is a thing for another time. Animals they're working their way across. Look at all the plants. Here they go. If I turn down advancement entirely, one of these will become civilized. And I'm okay with that. Biosphere. Race to the finish. Who will become civilized? Birds, dinosaurs, carniferns, insects, reptiles, fish. Could be fish. Could be that dino in the water. Oh, that dino's dead. Could be that reptile in the water. I've only seen so far one sprite for dinosaurs. No way they did them dirty like that. Only one for carnivores. There's been several for trilobites. Alright, the ice cap melted. Not sure what changed, but it did. Let's look up carniferns. Carniferns are mutated carnivorous plants featured in the 1990 game SimEarth. They represent a plant-animal hybrid. They are often associated with the game's portrayal of evolving, sometimes nightmarish ecosystems. They prey on insects. They're Venus flytraps. There's a TV tropes for this game. It was the first spin-off of the Sim series. With the exception of carnivores, any life that evolves will resemble terrestrial forms. All being a crash course in Earth sciences, from geology to biology, and a functional guide to climate modeling that is useful 20 years later. What was about 500? Oh, I guess in the SimEarth one, or the PC one. It was over 500 pages, went into exhaustive detail about the simulation's assumptions and underlying equations, and was larger than most modern game boxes. Alright, where can I find these 500 pages? The Super NES had a comparatively simple manual, putting the most important info from the other versions' manuals into an in-game dictionary accessible from the main menu. Oh, lost it. Hold on. Meanwhile, these birds and dinos are going places here. Still only one kind of dinosaur. The only dinosaur and the only bird that exists so far, too. You were just bird one, right? Bird one. The game is more involved and less humorous than most of the Sim titles. I need to find this 500-page manual. The Gaia hypothesis that this entire game is based on is acknowledged by the manual as being not accepted in scientific circles at the time of release. It remains highly controversial to this day. However, it runs with it anyway because the result is an effective visual tool of how life and the environment on the planet can potentially develop regardless of the species. Pretty much says that the planet wanted this to happen, so the planet kind of helped life along. We are taking the role of the planet here. If your sentient species goes extinct and you check on Gaia immediately, he says, ah, good riddance. Ah, things are getting hot. Gaia, what do you say? Finally, a thing happened. Hey Gaia, what's up? It's too hot! Decreasing CO2. I don't think that's the reason why. You kicked me out. I was still reading what you had to say, sir. That music. Increasing the number of plants, decreasing CO2. Well, we have many tools to decrease the temperature. Maybe that's why they're not evolving. Alright, sliders. First. Everything here was fine. We'll go to sliders then. Atmosphere. One more thing I could do is just decrease one tick down of the sun. Decrease the greenhouse effect. Decrease the deflection of the sun. We'll see how much of a difference this all makes. One tick. Give it a few million years to settle here. It's fine. Just gotta reach up as your Lord and Savior and just turn down the dial on the sun. One tick. It's fine. Life is flourishing. Plenty of Alright, maybe that's from there being too much oxygen in the air. Don't have any plants actually to eat this oxygen. I've just noticed that we actually are out of plants. I didn't change anything. What's happening here? The oceans are boiling. That's something to see, right? I did already turn down the core. I turned down all of this. Still only one kind of dino, one kind of bird. Trilobites are gone. Nope, nope, there's one. Hanging in there. The invasion of the amphibians. How much ocean is left? Not much. Can't turn down the sun too much because then plants can't grow either. What do you think, Gaia? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Those small tweaks made a big difference. On a planetary scale. But a blip. Let's see if we can find that manual. SimEarth PC manual. Here it is. Is it? There's hundreds of pages. Is this a random world, or did you plan it? Oh. Educational toy, an enjoyable tool. Your SimEarth planets will be populated by electronic life forms called SimEarthlings. Cousins of the Sims who populate SimCity. Another fine product, by the way. They're not limited to humans or even mammals. They can be intelligent dinosaur SimEarthlings, intelligent mollusks, intelligent insects, but only one intelligent form at a time. Their welfare is in your hands. Alright. SimEarth isn't exactly a game, it's what we call a software toy. Toys are more flexible and open-ended than games. As an example, compare a game, tennis, with a toy, a ball. In every tennis game, there is one way to begin, one goal to pursue, and one way to end. There are infinite variations in the middle, but they all start the same way, chase the same goal, and end the same way. A ball is more flexible. There are more things you can do with it. With the ball, you can play tennis. You can play catch. You can throw it at someone. You can bounce it. You can make up 100 different games using the ball. Our software toys are programmable. We're using the comparison with the ball. This means that you can change the tennis ball into a football, baseball, soccer ball, ping pong ball, etc. and play any and all games you play with those balls. Besides games, there are other things you can do with a ball. You can paint it, use it to plug a leafy roof, or just contemplate its roundness. Effin' heavy. So, what? In SimEarth, they put us. Oh, all right. I guess they expected no one to read this. In SimEarth, the toy is a planet, a programmable planet that can become an infinite number of planets. When you play with SimEarth or any of our software toys, don't limit yourself to just trying to win. Play with it, experiment, try new things, just have fun. This is the manual I'm reading. I found it, the PC version. Just these dinos just don't want to... They don't want to mutate. I guess we'll crank up mutation a bit. Give someone else a chance. Or advancement a bit. Alright, the rules to learn are based on global systems and management, including chemical factors such as atmospheric composition, energy management, geological factors such as climate, extraterrestrial collisions, continental drift, earthquakes, biological factors such as the formation of life, evolution, food supply, biome types, and distribution. Wars, human factors such as war, civilization, technology, waste control, pollution, food supply, energy supply. Tools provide you with the ability to create, modify, and manage a planet. Create a planet in any of the 4 time scales. Physically modify the landscape of the planet. Set the altitude of any spot on the planet. Trigger events. From hurricanes to volcanoes to meteor strikes. Plant various biomes and life forms. Nurture a species. Manage your planet by making use of the available maps and graphs. Test your plans, theories, and ideas you watch your planet develop or decline. Customize a simulation by changing the rules that control the geosphere, the atmosphere, the biosphere, and civilization to suit yourself or test life's adaptability to various conditions. Alright, there are limitations. Here we go. Anything as complicated as the Earth or an animal or even a city cannot be completely defined by formulas and equations. Any model of something that's complicated cannot be completely accurate, but if you're aware of the inaccuracies, the model can still be useful. Zoom in a little, there you go. Still basic dinos and birds. A street map is a model of a city. It isn't a completely accurate representation of every detail of a city, but within its limitations, it's very useful. Most of us would be lost without one. As a simulation of a real planetary system, SimEarth is a real caricature, an extreme simplification. We simulate many different aspects of a planet, including climate, evolution, atmospheric composition, and civilization, all on a personal computer. A truly accurate simulation from a climate model alone has not yet been realized even on today's most powerful supercomputers. We designed this simulation as accurately as we could while maintaining compatibility with personal computers and including a gaming aspect. A major limitation to this program is how evolution is treated. It closely follows Earth's evolution with very few exceptions. All the life forms represented here actually exist or existed on Earth. While allowing many differences in which species succeed or fail, and eventually gain sentience, the path from single-celled life to complex life is roughly the same as on Earth. Also, whatever species becomes intelligent, mammal, dinosaur, fish, etc., will develop civilizations, cities, and technologies that greatly resemble human civilizations, cities, and technologies. SimEarth is based on the Gaia theory. It's getting pretty hot, huh? Hold on, let's put this away for just a moment. There's desert on the poles. The shape. Okay. Should do something about this, huh? He thinks it's fine. This seems hot to me. Nitrogen's a little high. CO2's a little high. Alright, I can increase the CO2 rate. Atmosphere? No. Dang it. Alright, wasted those points. Trees are in the biosphere. Increase how much the CO2 is absorbed. Alright, and hopefully the deserts will start to chill out a bit as the planet cools a little. Biases. SimEarth is based on the Gaia theory as proposed by James Lovelock. Gaia theory is controversial and not an accepted truth in all scientific circles. For this game, we are also making a few assumptions that are not necessarily true. One of these assumptions is that intelligence is an evolutionary advantage. We might just be flattering ourselves. The simulator in SimEarth is a very complex piece of modeling software. It is constantly performing many checks, calculations, and updates, as well as keeping watch on the mouse and keyboard to respond to your demands. When you load in a planet, give the simulator a minute or two to compile and update maps and graphs. When you make adjustments to the model control panels, allow some time for the changes to take effect. Simulator reaction time is also greatly affected by your computer's clock speed and type of microprocessor. The goals of SimEarth. Each of the 7 included scenario planets is actually a game in itself that can be played at 3 levels of difficulty or in experimental mode. Each scenario will present you with different challenges in planet management. There's information about Daisy World. Alright. And then, taking on the role of Gaia. If you play any of the scenarios or random planets at the most difficult level, all Gaian self-regulation will be disabled. You will have to constantly monitor and adjust everything on the planet to keep life in existence. So there's no difficulty setting here on the Super Nintendo version. Quite hot. Maybe I should increase rainfall. A lot of oxygen. Only 9% oxygen. Oxygen is in the green. The only thing hurting is nitrogen, it says. A high life of fish. Screw those dinosaurs. Now he's happy. Alright, let it be. Running a planet is a real challenge, even for an experienced gamer. Set up a planetary situation, and just watch what happens. Choose and help a particular species gain mastery of the planet, or influence. It's giving you other ways to play this game. Your own goals. It's your toy. You make the rules. You don't need a goal if you want one. If you don't want one, just play. Alright, there's energy. Alright, that's for civilizations. Energy for a game comes from the stores of the planet itself. Okay. All the world's a simulation, and all the Sims and SimEarthlings merely players. William Simspear. Cute. How to install the game. There's a tutorial section in this manual. Now let's get to the actual, like, what these do, supposedly. In SimEarth, as on the real Earth, the level of solar radiation is continually increasing. You only have 10 billion years before the planet gets so hot that all life on it will die. Technically, the sun cools off as it expands into a red giant. As it expands, it gets closer to the planet. From the planet's position, the solar radiation is increasing, even though the sun is cooling. This is all realistic. You can begin a planet in any time scale, or start at a certain one. Any multicellular life form in SimEarth can become intelligent. Life will begin and evolve automatically. To a great extent, you can affect the evolutionary path that life follows on your planet. There are 15 classes of life represented in SimEarth. Each class has 16 species. There are 240 possible forms of life, and all of them will develop or survive on a given planet. Symbols that represent life in the edit window. The symbols that represent... How you doing? The symbols that represent life in the edit window stand for a large population of that life form, not just one animal. Alright. Deserts have migrated to closer to the poles. Each form of life has favorite biomes where it flourishes and others where it cannot survive at all. I'd like to get some grassland going, but It's very warm. I played this a lot as a kid, I just didn't understand it. And I found the 250-page manual. Alright, let's poke at the atmosphere, see if we can adjust some knobs here. Like, bring down the clouds a little bit, bring up the rainfall to get rid of the desert. Put these back the way I found them. I played The Sims a little. We'll see if that makes an effect. The level of development of life controls the advancement of timescales. Eventually, one type of SimEarthling will attain sentience. When this happens, civilization begins. With civilization comes many new issues and problems to deal with. SimEarth simulates civilization with cities at 7 levels of technology, ranging from the Stone Age of the distant past to the nanotech age of the future. There are 2 uses of energy, yours and the SimEarthlings. You use energy each time you change the planet. Creating and nurturing a planet within your energy budget is one of the challenges of SimEarth. Yeah, they got a lot of money out of people with the constant expansions. Alright, tell me about the game and what these buttons do. The map window, alright, we got that. We got the control panel. I've even heard of those. Like graphs, options, speed, sound. Come on, we can do it. Give me the data. These animals are really not wanting to evolve. Just birds and dinosaurs forever. That's fine. There are 7 scenarios, preset planets you can load, or you can create a random planet. That makes sense. I think I have The Sims 3 on here. Maybe. Maybe we'll play The Sims at some point. Alright, so let's go. A new planet is born. In the speed menu, you can change blah blah blah. There will be no oceans for a while, and there is no atmosphere to burn up incoming meteors. Sit back for a couple minutes and watch. You will witness events, meteor strikes, volcanoes, and earthquakes. Soon oceans will form, and life will form in the oceans. This time is passing very fast in this time scale. You can see the continent is drifting. Single-celled life is spreading. Meteors hit the land and make craters that become lakes, or hit the ocean and cause tidal waves. Fire. These things happen. Dinosaurs and birds all over. But where is this? Is just telling me to look around. Alright. Using the set altitude tool. Point to the water and click and hold for a few seconds. You've just built an island. Time is moving so fast you can see the continents moving. The continental drift. Go over to a landmass. Click and hold for a few seconds. You just dug a lake. This manual is starting from scratch. On the PC version, it says Gaia will sleep until life forms. Then it will wake up. This is the Cambrian era. We managed to get this going pretty quickly. There were only a few bacteria when we started. In the PC version, Gaia's eyes will follow your cursor. Please don't poke it in the eye, it says. Dinosaur. Wonder if maybe that's it. We got here fast enough that the game is waiting for time to go by for these to be able to evolve anymore. Alright. How meteors work. When meteors hit water, they add moisture to the air, which increases rainfall. It contributes to the greenhouse effect. When a meteor hits land, you get big craters. They can become lakes if they are deep enough. Crashing meteors into land spews dust. Too much dust blocks the sunlight, which will kill plants, which will kill animals. The amphibian hold back the amphibian army here. Alright, volcanoes. Instant island when you trigger a volcano. Causes tidal waves. We can kill land life near the coast. It adds dust and carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Earthquakes let you change the direction of the magma flow under the surface of the Earth, which affects continental drift. It lets you move continents. You can use it to build mountain ranges. And then it didn't actually list their others. It just said there are other events. Play with them. Thanks. 200 pages here. You can take the time to do some of this. Alright. Graphs. Tell me about about the sliders, what they're supposedly doing. Okay, here we go. This tutorial won't explain each and every control on the control panel. Thanks. We're gonna go into extreme detail about how this is not a toy, that you can do anything you want with this game, but we're not going to explain how it works. Alright. Reads about how continental drift works. Just telling you how to. The oceans haven't formed yet. Wait a minute till they do, then continue. So you can use the continental drift to make an ocean. How is our landmass looking? Quite different than it did when we started. This was a Pac-Man shape when we started. Okay, so there's a Alright, so there's instructions here on how to burn your planet. You can click on the solar input and raise it all the way up, turn the sunning to maximum. You can also turn the greenhouse effect all the way up and turn all the albedos all the way down. The albedo is how much it reflects. Each of these will contribute to global warming. You can drop you can drop meteors. You can drop fire, drop a quake, you can drop an earthquake, drop a plague, you can drop the N-bomb. I used the volcano to get some land in the last scenario. Let's see, how's the atmosphere looking now? It's so much oxygen in the air. Guess I should drop a terraformer. And use, the actual game. Here we go. More nitrogen in the air, please. Right here. So this is how to burn the planet. So if I need to cool it down, I can do the opposite. Which, how are deserts looking? How is the temperature looking? Now that we have confirmation on how to burn the planet. I don't have any cold zones, but I only have a very thin hot zone now. That feels appropriate. Very wide water heat, hot temperature. Can't imagine how that could be useful. Alright, it just jumps right to the biosphere. What kind of history are we looking at here? Show us. Right, we actually haven't lost any sea. Life took a dip when it got hot, and now it's fine. Nuclear power is rising somehow. Air pressure is tanking. Water's fine. Carbon dioxide's way down. Oxygen is down. These are probably interrelated. Let's do the biosphere. I did reduce CO2, or carbon dioxide's way down because the trees are eating so much of it. Let's drop that down. Civilization model. Now you know the basics of SimEarth, even though we didn't tell you what any of the sliders do. Thoughts we had while playing SimEarth. Okay. When you're sitting on top of the world, be careful not to break the monitor. Nobody reads game manuals. I know nobody reads game manuals, but I knew you would. I worked real hard on this manual. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Depending on your computer, you may or may not have a mouse. If you do have one, then you will want to use it. SimEarth is much easier to control with a mouse than with a keyboard. There was a time that desktop computers did not have a mouse? What? Huh. My family was poor. We didn't have computers. Not at that time, I guess. I mean, there were laptops that have, like, the pad, but... Missy's still here. How's your poutine? Alright. The panels. Are you going to tell me about it? No, it just says that they do things. Alright, thanks. Now we're back to the main menu. Menus for graphs. We're on page 49 of the manual. Early on, mice were considered a gimmick. Huh. Why would you want to use both hands? Why would you want to use two different devices when you could just put both hands on one? I've been enjoying me reading the manual here. Nice. Just share a picture of it. There's information on how to make it run better on your computer. Sound menu. Apparently you can, in this PC version, you can play sounds based off of data on the data happening here. Alright, you're gonna the help menu is your friend. Use it. SNES version does not have a help menu. I mean, it has Gaia, who says there's no problem and is sleepy. On the SNES, on the PC version, there's difficulties. Hard game is really difficult. In fact, it's really very difficult. Not only will you have to adjust the model control panels, but you have to take on the role of Gaia. Alright, Aquarium. Here we are. It's a planet with no continents. Good starting point for those who like to design their own landscapes. It was really hard to get land going, actually. Stagnation. The planet in the sentient life is limited to one small island. That doesn't exist here. Earth Cambrian Era. That's where we are now. Simulation of Earth in the evolution timescale. One of the best features of this scenario is that its continental drift recreates the real Earth's drift. Do we feel like this is going to actually break into modern day Earth? How? Whoa, look at that. Huh. Huh. Alright. That's like a magic trick right there. That's looking familiar. So here in Africa, wait, let's get our bearings. Yeah, we'll start in Europe. Everything's Eurocentric. So here in Europe, dinosaurs and birds. Russia, dinosaurs and birds. Australia, dinosaurs and birds. Antarctica, dinosaurs and birds. South America, dinosaurs and birds. North America, dinosaurs and birds. Where are we? I live about... I go up a little. I live about here. Because I live about where this dinosaur is. Just happens right as I read about it. Then there's Earth Modern Day. Gives you a chance to take over the Earth of today. You'll get to deal with all the problems we deal with in the real world. This scenario is not recommended for escapists. Then there's Mars and Venus, Daisy World. Really keeps talking about Daisy World. They probably worked really hard on it. "32 levels of terrain. Lighter the terrain, lighter the shade, the higher the altitude." And then how to click on a terraformer. Alright, a complete description of the 15 classes of life is found later. Okay. Complete description of the cities is covered. The terraformers we covered here. Good. Okay, good. And then it skips it and talks about life. Alright, cool. Prokaryote, eukaryote, radiate, like starfish, arthropods, mollusks, fish, cetaceans, trichordates, insects, you know what these are, amphibians, reptiles, dinosaurs, or avian mammals. They skipped the carniferns. Maybe that's not in the PC version. Okay. Biome factory. Place the biome factories on not Earth planets. It'll just spit out things that can live in that environment. Oxygenator takes CO2 out of the atmosphere and spits out oxygen. Life requires a certain percentage of oxygen. About 15 to 20... Finally getting data. About 15 to 25% to survive. Since it lessens the CO2, the greenhouse gas, the oxygenator will help cool the planet. According to this, we have too much oxygen. N2 is used to increase the atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric density affects the planet's temperature. The denser atmosphere allows the planet to retain more heat. The thinner the atmosphere, the colder the planet. It stabilizes the percentages of all the others. Maybe I want to throw down a second nitrogen generator? Vaporator spews water vapor, increasing humidity, increasing rainfall. CO2 generator produces CO2. You seem to have plenty of that. Life is happening. I could kind of leave the oxygen alone. Monolith isn't a terraformer, but we didn't have anywhere else to put it. It's an evolution speed-up device. And they call us pirates. Blah, blah, blah. Ice meteor is a huge chunk of ice you can crash to add water. Okay. An added feature of the place life tool is the extinct function. If you want to remove a particular class of life from a planet, hold down the option key. Okay, you can just decide to Thanos snap something out of existence in the PC version. You cannot snap out civilized. Like, if there's a is there a way to... Coming along. There it is. Alright. Hurricanes, tidal wave. Alright, it doesn't say what it does. It's just, it describes it here. We seem to have plenty of rain, because the whole world is either desert or swamp. Should cool down the planet a little bit. What do you think, Gaia? Des, don't worry about it. Maybe the planet's slowly heating up because as these billion years have gone by, the sun has actually gotten a bit warmer. That will cool down the planet a hair. I also turned up rainfall at one point. Apparently there was a moving tool on this NES on the PC version. You could pick things up and move them. That doesn't exist here. Lots of things that are not in this version. Are we going to explain what any of this does at any point? Rainfall. The heaviest rainfall will usually be concentrated over the equator. At this point, we're looking at modern-day Earth without an Atlantic Ocean. I live about here. About here. The air current is determined by thermal disequilibrium and the Coriolis effect. Coriolis being spelled wrong, naturally. Right, buttons. They repeat themselves a lot. This is how you get 200 pages. We're on page 79 of the manual at this point. Alright, talking about Gaia. In the upper right corner of this window is the sun. Not on this... On the PC version, apparently, in the top right of this screen is the sun. And as solar heat increases through time, the sun will slowly begin to enlarge. At the end of your planet's 10 billion year life, the sun will burn up Gaia. Huh. The PC version seems a bit more thought out. It's been a little bit. Let's see. How's temperature looking? Feel like I cooled things down, but it didn't work. Maybe I should hit it a little harder. You know, the deserts of Canada. You love it. You love to see it, right? Not a desert here, because rainfall is hitting the equator. I mean, Antarctica is probably the largest desert. Just bring down the greenhouse effect, please. And increase the thermal transfer. Just really cool this place down. I will turn down the sun if I have to. Why has nothing evolved? It's been a billion years. All we have are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs did rule the Earth for a long time, but... Let's give that time to work while we read. History levels... Actually, you're right, let's do that. Birds and dinosaurs, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for reports. I'm not looking for a report. Technology is spelled wrong. Nice. No technology. Give me the history. There we go. Rain is... Mom! The damn dinosaurs and their nuclear usage. I can't actually look at the heat. There's no heat map here. I can't see the overall temperature rising. No, Gaia's fine. Let's just let things be. Anyway. Okay, fossil fuels displays the amount of fossil fuel reserves within the planet. This amount grows during the evolution timescale as biomass decays and is depleted by civilization. Got it. That's what that nuclear is. It's the stores of all the planets here. La 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 la. It's just repeating itself a whole lot. Alright, it tells you how to allocate energy when you have a civilization. Like how the numbers would be invested. Like, don't give cavemen nuclear... Don't tell the cavemen to use nuclear energy kind of deal. Then talks about daisies again. Two little ox... Alright, here we go. Graphs. Okay, how to read the graphs. Alright, the air pressure is represented in atmospheres, so the air pressure is a little high, actually. The air pressure bar has its own shade and does not change. That's also not true on this NES version. Too little oxygen, and life will end. Too much oxygen, and fires will burn everywhere. Too little carbon, plants will die. Everything seems to be fine. Too much carbon, animals are extinct. Too much dust causes solar blockage and extinctions. Water vapor affects rainfall. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane are greenhouse gases. Unknown. Will increase the greenhouse warming effect. Alright, cool. It didn't help me there. Everyone knows Mexico to be just a big jungle. All of Canada is now a desert. They changed how numbers work. Like this, on the PC version, you get charged per slider. Not for looking at the slider. Okay, here we go. What these actually mean. Let's go. Volcanic activity controls the frequency of periodic volcanic eruptions. It influences the formation of continental areas. Okay. Such as that forming, I guess. Maybe those will break off and become the Caribbean. Erosion controls the rate of smoothing of the terrain by erosion. Also, increasing erosion increases CO2 in the atmosphere. Our erosion is mediocre. We'll leave that be. Continental drift controls the rate of continents move. Controls the temperature of the planet's core. The higher the core heat, the larger and more severe the volcanoes. Also, the hotter the core, the more direction the magma flow will change. That seems fine. Core formation controls the rate at which the planetary core forms. As the core forms, it gets larger. The size of the core affects the speed at which the magma flows. The bigger the core, the slower the magma. The slower the magma, the smaller the volcanoes. And the slower the continental drift. So you'd want the core formation actually to be high. Controls the meteor impact, controls the frequency of periodic meteor or planetesimal strikes. Planetesimal? What is planetesimal? Planetesimal. Solid subplanetary celestial bodies. Just say meteor, man. You ain't gotta be that fancy. Axial tilt controls the tilt of the spin. Affects the severity of seasons. This is only noticeable in the modern timescales. Okay. I guess when we're looking at 250,000 years at a time, every 3 seconds. Solar input. The incoming solar radiation. Turn the slider all the way down would turn the sun off. Albedo is the reflectivity of the clouds, which controls how much heat gets to the planet. Temperature seems to be better, I guess. Life isn't really doing what I want it to do. We'll get there. Well, I said that's a sign of me being too much oxygen. What do you think? Wildfires happen, right? It's 5% oxygen. It's in the green, it's fine. Fires happen. The dinosaurs set themselves on fire. This is how they learn. Harness the fire. Become the fire. Absorb its power. Greenhouse gas effect. Controls the intensity of the warming greenhouse effect. Caused by certain gases that block outgoing infrared radiation. In SimEarth, the greenhouse gases are water vapor, methane, and carbon dioxide. Cloud formation controls the amount of clouds formed. Rainfall controls the amount of rainfall. Surface albedo controls the reflectivity of surface biomes. The higher albedo, the more radiation is reflected back into space. The more is reflected back, the cooler things would be. And you can... the thermal exchange of the ocean and the air. Temperature-wise. Alright, thermal tolerance. Controls the temperature range at which life can survive. Reproduction rate controls how quickly life as a whole reproduce. CO2 absorption controls how much carbon dioxide is scrubbed from the air by the plants. Advance rate controls the rate at which life forms advance to the next higher level of development towards intelligence. Usually a change of one species. Mutation rate controls the rate at which life forms will mutate. Maybe this doesn't work when they're both at the top. Let's bring down advancement. Civilization, we'll get there when we get there. Energy investment goes along with civilization. Introduction to time scales. Geologic time scales, because just as our planet is formed, it begins cooling. It ends with the development of multi-celled life. In this time scale, the planet changes very slowly. So simulation time is sped up to keep things moving. The simulation cycle is 10 million years. That means each time the program runs through a simulation cycle, 10 million years pass on the planet. You get 1 point every 10 million years. We seem to get 2 on the SNES version for every tick for 250,000 years. See ya. Planet only has 10 billion years to live. If you want to complete all the time scales before the end of your planet, try to reach the next time scale when your planet is between 3 and 4 billion years old. Don't advance too soon, there won't be enough fossil fuels for later civilizations. At least all these animals will leave that there. Looking a little familiar now. Zoop over to Asia, see how that's looking. I'm hanging out in Australia. The Shire, which has a single squid. Alright, geologic timescale. Things to do, design continents, spell your name in land masses, burn off oceans, make life impossible in a number of ways. Use earthquakes to create mountain ranges. Use meteors to create lakes. Use meteors and hurricanes to increase rainfall. Use earthquakes, volcanoes, and meteors to achieve the highest dust level you can. Using only events, try to recreate the continents on Earth today. Hint, you'll want to pause the simulation to slow down continental drift. Play bumper continents. Get 2 or 3 friends, each build a small continent, and take turns setting off earthquakes to propel the continents into each other. Okay. Alright, evolution timescale. Things to do. Choose and help a particular class of life to develop intelligence. Prevent particular species from developing intelligence. Manipulate their evolutionary path. Try to get carnivores to reach intelligence without using the monolith. Try to get the highest biomass rating you can. Try to maintain a valley or island of dinosaurs in the midst of a civilized world. Play with the atmosphere to see what happens. Race the terrain all over the planet and see what happens. See how much and how little of your planet you can have as land without major repercussions to life. Civilization timescale. Things to do, cause or prevent wars. Eliminate unwanted technologies. Promote or eliminate various energy sources. Mold a sentient species to your liking through the civilization model control panel. Improve the quality of life for your sentient species. Set up equivalent civilizations on different continents and let them race to the technology age. Vary the altitude biomes for the two civilizations to see what helps and hinders. Try to control pollution. Alright, that's looking more normal. We've cooled down the planet enough to have a hot zone. And anything that that feigns to be not scorching. Alright, talking about these scenarios. Aquarium is a world that will never develop sentient life. Sentience can only be reached in SimEarth by land animals. We hope we're not offending any intelligent, purely aquatic aliens anywhere in the universe, but as far as we can tell, civilization requires the use of fire and the burning of fossil fuels to develop. Intelligence in SimEarth requires land because of the need of fire, tools, and forges. Water creatures can reach intelligence, but need access to land for tool making. They can be smart enough to know they can't do it. They need thumbs. Alright, how to do this. I'm Stagnations exist here. Cambrian era. Here we go. So the scenario we're in now. This scenario takes place on Earth 550 million years ago at the beginning of the Cambrian era. Life on Earth at that time was undergoing an explosion of diversification. Plants started moving onto the land, followed by insects and other animals. In this scenario, the drift of the continents will follow the drift of Earth's continents. It begins with a supercontinent called Pangaea, which then splits apart into the ancient continents of Gondwanaland and Laurasia. Eventually, you will recognize the continents as we see them today. The pre-programmed drift will continue into the future, following scientific predictions for about 200 million years. After that, the simulation takes over and controls the drift. Your mission: help evolution develop intelligent life while seeing an instant replay of our planet's continental drift. The methods. On this one, you can just sit back and watch, or get involved in every planetary process. The continents will drift whether or not any life is around to see where they go. Hint. Beyond 200 million years in the future, the drift will diverge from scientific predictions and will be at the whim of our simulation code. Alright, now, for now, it's still looking like now. See if you can create an Earth with intelligent dinosaurs. Don't know if that's gonna happen. We got dinosaurs, just no one's developing. Alright, let's just kind of zoom past. Is there an FAQ or a... Talking about war, pollution. They've already told us about this. This is a repeated, like, how the core works. Nitrogen. These are looking okay. Right, fire removes oxygen from the atmosphere. So it self-regulates. Page 131. It's just repeating things it's already talked about. The formation of life on the real Earth is much more complicated than SimEarth, and is still very controversial. Now, alright, so this claims that mutation is a different animal. Advancement is a different type of animal. Of the same species. How come there's no animals up here? No one loves to live in Canada. Oh, oh, here we go. Mexico is gone. North America's running away from South. They're repeating the different kinds of animals. This is how you get... Alright, the conifers died out when insects did. The least likely to evolve intelligence or fish. Cool, we did it. Loss of everything here. Earth science. Alright. What about astronauts? Yeah, but how does it affect the game? Talk about Venus, alright. The origin of the Earth. Now back to the nebula. Feels like advancement is kind of halted. There's no problem, but alright. Pre-Earth was not as large as the planet we knew today, grew to its present size with a gradual addition of other planetesimals and meteorite bombardments. Not only increased the size of it, but also heated it up. Linked with the radioactive decay of heavy elements, which also produced heat, most likely partially melted the primordial Earth. Partially melted Earth was then affected by what is known as the Iron Catastrophe, which then led to the formation of the core. Composition and structure of the Earth. There's information on the crust of the mantle. I think next stream we'll actually just read all this. Where's any information gameplay here? The carbon cycle, the water cycle. History of plate tectonics. Earthquakes, divergent margins. This is all in the manual for the PC version of this. I'm on page 166 scrolling through here. The ocean, not just composed of water, oceans have many other elements such as potassium, sodium, calcium, and gases such as carbon dioxide. There's magnesium, silicon, manganese, aluminum. Glaciations and changes in the orbits of the Earth. Earth responding to solar heating. The albedo effect. Current, atmosphere, ocean interactions. Greenhouse effect. The origin of life is just written down all right here. It's 3 paragraphs. Most dinosaurs, nonetheless, were herbivores, not carnivores. Oh man, hominids and human evolution, food chains, mass extinctions. There is so much data here. Volcanism, glaciations, human civilization and technology. The lower Paleolithic, the middle Paleolithic, the upper Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, Neolithic. There are sources listed. Too much oxygen. Well, that'll fix it. This is what Earth will look like millions of years from now. Alright, problems and solutions. Here we go. Planet overheating. If it's high, use an oxygenator. There's a lot of things you can do. We were doing that. Evolution in the water seems to stop. Advanced aquatic life forms live in shallow water. Plenty of shallow water. Meteor storm. It's a warning that extinctions are imminent. It's not much to be done except prepare for the worst and get ready to rebuild. Mass extinctions, fuels running low, nuclear detonations, nuclear winter, pollution. is just terms here. Now it's just a glossary. All right. Well, the problem we're having of life is here and just not doing anything. That doesn't seem to be a thing. If I just touch everything. Many terms. Trichordae is a SimEarth term. They don't exist. It's an order of radiates with 3 radiating spines. And then the index. 207 pages. Oh, there's multiple pages of index. Many pages of index. Everything you'd want to know is here. And planet specification sheet. Such as we can read about how Pluto. Year in Earth days. 90,474 and 90.9. A day in Earth hours. 159 hours. 19 minutes. 2,400 diameters. Kilometers. In kilometers. 1,500 miles. There's one moon of Pluto. Charon, I believe that is. It's not listed here. Distance from the sun, on average. The orbital velocity. Apparently it's going as fast as Neptune. How about that? There's the entire manual. I feel like it's just not going to happen. Oh. Dinosaur 3. A different dino. Orange dino. Screw that dino, I guess. Too much oxygen? No? Well, not anymore, at least. Alright, Dino 2. These are different shades. Orange Dino is still alive. Okay. Yeah, different bird. That's a different color bird. That's a green bird. Bird 3. I was hoping we get different graphics like the fish. Let's do a little lap of the world, see if we can't find our present for this scenario. No mention in the manual about presents. I wonder if that is a SNES edition. That's only in the SNES manual. That is like 15 pages. Versus the PC's 270. Gotta love those Antarctic dinos. It's fine. We don't have a way to get more oxygen out of the atmosphere. That by reducing CO2 consumption. Less CO2 being eaten means less oxygen being spat out. But we beat a scenario without a monolith. And have dinos and birds here. Perhaps sentience at some point. This time I'm going to actually going to drop a real save here. And we're going to come back to this again next week. And read more about Earth science. Professor Danda is on the job. Have a good one, y'all. Not forget to do the save this time. There we go. Have a good one.